Finally, good morning, good afternoon. Today's Friday, November 10th, 2017, and we're doing the morning business headline commentary. Yes, I have finished traveling, and I'm settling down in Asia right now. Um, so I'm doing the commentary, catching up a little bit with the markets, and we see in the headlines that Trump has went to the Asia trip as well. Sign non-binding deals with China and continue to visit the smaller countries as well. All right, so there's two sides to the story. A little bit of where the big deals are non-binding, but some of them will be will be implemented eventually. So the GOP right now is working on a tax overhaul, trying to lower the rates for corporate America and also for individuals. China, in a move, is creating opportunities for foreign investments to own more in the financial sector. Snap. I had a meeting with like a Snap employee at JFK couple of weeks or months back, and I suggested to them to give the spectacles away for free. Make sure they have Snap logo on there, so they will promote your brand for you, and also create a desktop version of the Snap mobile app, where people can be more expressive on a keyboard because they type faster. So that's why I told the employee of Snap. But apparently, not everybody, is like, up there in up to par in knowing what to do. So that's that with Snap falling back down. All right, big news. Uber is the courts is allowing Uber drivers to be treated as employees. That's very significant because a lot of these drivers' earnings cannot be counted toward to getting a mortgage because they're self-employed. Now, if they're treated as a real employees, their salaries and earnings can be treated as corporate salaries, and they can use it to prove their income in getting significant financial help, as in buying a house for a mortgage. JC Penney lowers its goal as due to the error of Amazon. Oh, there's a little bit concern of like a price drop with the original Bitcoin, and they say it's a Bitcoin Cash, which is a split fork, is getting investments. Well, it's hard to say because it's if you look in the market shares, the Koreans has been pushing it higher. If they have the power to do that, they may be, as I've seen in the activities of other cryptocurrencies, maybe a pump and dump to make money. So we'll see. Okay, bigger than Black Friday, Alibaba's single day faces fatigue in China. Well, Alibaba doesn't have any inventory, they rely on using their platform to sell their items. Almost everybody's on it already, and it's very easily to go to another website to do the same thing because the inventory is not theirs. So the same sellers can bring the same inventory to other websites, like Tencent. All right, let's see how the significant movements are there. Oil is staying steady at 57. As I mentioned, the false narrative of oil just to push the oil prices higher. The fact is, the United States is moving into the winter blend, which is a little bit cheaper oil. because you're mixing oil with a lot of additive that displaces the oil that you're trying to add to. So you get really less gasoline because the additive is trying to make the gasoline less prone to freezing. That's why they had the winter blend. All right, so it's staying steady at 57 due to geopolitical concern in Saudi Arabia, where the crown prince is displacing all the other non-crown princes to consolidate power. I mean, this doesn't really affect OPEC output or the country's output, but they still need our money to buy, to sell the oil. So, I mean, they'll continue to sell the oil. And OPEC has diminished in the effectiveness into affecting the prices, but, they're very innovative. And this is one of the last few tricks in the bag to try to sneak the higher prices in. But ultimately, the United States is the net producer of glut oil. So they're selling a lot of oil. Wait, not loading that much yet. No, that's not even loading. Okay, we see Hang Seng taking a pause, capitulating a little bit as they try to approach the 30,000 mark. As I mentioned before, it may change since I mentioned it, that it may try to for a run for 30,000 and may not be able to reach it. There's a lot of unique Asian politics in the Hang Seng market, so we see what happens. Let's see what happens. Dow Jones falling 50 points right now. Not much movement there. All right, let's see the other headlines with Google News. Trump visits Vietnam, a tiger company that beats his stock rally. Vietnam is getting a lot of computer hardware manufacturing and also the clothing manufacturing from China moving there. China businesses moving there. So Vietnam is doing well, and they're a small country, and since there are a lot more business moving in for manufacturing than there's space, so Vietnam is very good in terms of economic growth. Again, Uber loses the trial appeal that drivers can be treated as employees now. Musically is an app that allows young people to lip sync and do some original hand movements to the music. It's very popular among the teenagers, and I've seen some of them they're very well done. It's quite nichey, and I don't think it's worth $1 billion, maybe half that, but we'll see. Again, China eases limits on foreign stakes in financial firms. That's to promote more activities and investments into the financial sector of China. Okay, as I mentioned before, Ford Motor Company had a same-day reactions to my previous sometimes actionable commentary, where they are actually moving future resources into heavier, bigger cars, trucks, while having them as EVs and hybrids. After my commentary on a Wednesday, that future car company needs to survive, they will need to implement EVs and hybrid car productions. Alright, that's that. Alright, IBM ups pressure on rivals with quantum computer prototype. It's not quite quantum computer, that's they're saying, and the language is not really done yet into manipulating quantum computer, so you can't really do anything like concrete. Nvidia coming out with more powerful graphics cards and chips that can be used for mining cryptocurrency. They're always in demand at high end. So Wall Street is open lower due to corporate tax cut delays. They may implement the tax cut, but it will be delayed. So that's bad because they want it immediately now, and not fast enough yet. They want it to be retroactive. Salesforce.com is again making some inroads into locking in their customers with their language of programming that's unique to their platform. Again, mentioning Bitcoin Cash, a fork of Bitcoin Original, is surging 30%, mainly due to the Korean participation in trading. We'll see, because we saw in past behavior from the Korean market, there'll be a lot of them are pumping and dumping. So, that's that. Snapchat loss, profit disappoints with Disney. TV unit struggles, that's ABC. But I see Disney, a lot of good things going for them. They bought the Star Wars franchise, and they annualize these superhero movies now. So, which is a very good strategy. All right. Today's Saturday. No, not Saturday yet, because I'm in Asia. It's still Friday, November 10th, 2017. That's Friday. And we're doing the morning business headline commentary. Something of note, as I usually mentioned before, I featured Amazon last year in my feature videos, and now it's reaching over $1,000 a share. And India's mobility, after I featured Amazon in my videos, went for a big hug on Amazon. I have Indian followers and Chinese business followers. Some Chinese business followers caught some of my sometimes actionable commentary and decided to buy out the Germany's robotics firm when I feature these robotics arms in supercar videos, as listed some below, for supercar production. Something to note, more recently, the company called Funimation that owns Dragon Ball has become a takeover target. Since I have featured Goku and Gohan of Dragon Ball in my cooking demo, superhero cooking demo videos. So that's that, and as I mentioned before, I do make sometimes actionable commentary, and I also have created an email group the way I have go more in depth of my selections of interesting companies and commentary. They are much more actionable. If you're interested, you can email me in my listed email below in the comments. All right, so that's that, and happy trading, everybody. Today's Friday, November 10th, 2017.